Welcome to the Four Fouls podcast. Tune in, don't foul out. Hey everyone, I'm Brianna. Some people call me Bree. These four fouls do, but y'all don't get to. So let's start introducing everybody. CJ?
Yo, what's up, what's up? I don't know if the Mavs are going to take Game 7, but I do know that the Bucks may end up taking this series with the Nets, and I can't wait. Ooh.
Cori?
I don't know what CJ just said, but I won the last time, and I won the time before that, so you can say I'm about to catch a three-peat.
Devonte?
Tricks, Twix, Knicks. Lakers ain't doing shit.
Oh, shit.
Luis?
I told y'all about the Suns.
Man, shut up.
Fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
So this is the Four Fouls
my
podcast.
God.
We have 4 different quarters. Each quarter, the show is split up into different topics. You get points for saying good things. You get fouls for being outlandish. If you get 4 fouls, you're out. See you next week. So let's get started. So we talk a lot about game. What about shoe game? May 29th, Kanye dropped the Adidas Yeezy Foam Moon Gray shoes. They're interesting. Would y'all cop these shoes? Let's start with Luis.
Nah, that's not for me. Definitely not.
It's
Listen,
above me.
I started off trying to find like some positives, no laces. It's environmentally friendly because it's made from algae. It takes 25 minutes to make. And, Kanye said he feels like Steve Jobs trying to remove laces from the shoe game. But this ain't it. This is not it. Crocs for the culture.
Devonte, do you agree? Do you disagree?
I miss the old Kanye. Hey, nah, Yeezys ain't never been like old school, 13, 14, 15 Yeezys, yeah, but I ain't got none, so I ain't got too much say so in it. So no, I would not cop. I'm not really dealing with them right now, so it's all good. Drop some
Cori,
heat though, bro.
Yeah. Cori, I could see you probably pulling these off. What do you think?
Oh, well, I appreciate it. I do got big, fat-ass feet, so I don't know about that. They might take away, or they might look like some boats. You never know, but I don't know. I feel like I've hit the age now where things are more about practicality than style. So this shoe, I'm not in the price bracket to even look that way. Okay, I'm not doing that. I'm not spending over like $100 on shoes. So I'm sorry for all the shoe heads out there. Not happen. Okay, like I'm just saying, if it's even close to even 80.
That's
I wear
$100 to
Converse,
me.
bro. Them hoes cost $40. I wear Chucks,
Not
bro. What you
Chucks.
mean? So I'm not doing that. But here's where I will say I do like comfortability, and apparently now there are a lot of people who said that the latest Yeezys have been comfortable fits. So I don't know. Maybe if somebody gifted them to me, I'll wear them. Maybe around the house as house shoes, but nah, it's a no for me.
So we can raise some money and get him a pair, everyone.
Hey,
CJ,
birthday November 2nd.
CJ, would you cop these?
If I was going to Disneyland and I was trying to dress up like Mickey Mouse, maybe, bro, but probably not. Probably not. I ain't gonna lie. They ugly. I can't do it. No. Now, I do like me a nice pair of Crocs, but this ain't it. Nah.
Well,
They
I
basically
guess
are Crocs.
For the culture.
they do look kind of similar. I looked at it and I was like, oh, okay. And I mean, the whole pattern, the color, I thought, okay, trying to make it different. Anyway, speaking of characters, the Loki Disney Plus series drops this Wednesday. And I just want to know, what's y'all's opinion? Who's the baddest villain depicted in all of cinema history? Let's start with Devonte.
All of cinema history?
All
That's a long time.
cinema history.
That's a lot, but I'm gonna just go with more recent. My boy Thanos. Immediately, bro. He was right though. I mean, don't say I'm trying to promote
was
genocide
right.
or nothing, but the dude.
That's
I mean,
deep.
hey, look. It is
good?
very deep, and we can go in
Who
a little
hurt you?
bit, but people are crazy, and so just a quick snap. it'll chill out for a little bit. But you see, the Avengers come back and they save us all, so we all get to hug up and no, I don't promote genocide. I promise y'all.
What?
Hey,
in
Thanos,
the world
that motherfucker was spitting, bro.
I'm just saying.
No, he was snapping, bro. You had the perfect opportunity to use the word he was snapping, and you said he was spitting. Come on, bro.
L.
I rest my
Please.
case.
L.
Luis, do you? So you don't think he's the worst one in all of cinema?
No, I
Cinema?
don't. I think
History.
by far the greatest villain of all time is Darth Vader. Influenced pop culture throughout history. He is the epitome of a villain. And getting that prequel context just makes him just a bigger, better character. And the new comic books that they got with Darth Vader are heat. So y'all might want to check that out too.
So as soon as you said that, Corey made it look like you were the villain. So
Always.
I don't know, Corey. What? Who's the baddest villain?
Darth Vader and Thanos is the same.
No,
but
don't be disrespecting.
That's just,
Whoa.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah, right.
bro, if Darth Vader could have his way, would he not clap everybody on the other side?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, how many empires? Come on, bro. I'm not even talking about that.
So
So for me,
problematic.
I'm going to go with somebody just a little bit different. I was going to go with Thanos. Not for the genocide reason, as Devonte said. Okay.
Yes.
But more so, I'm going to go with Heath Ledger's Joker, and here's why. A true villain inflicts fear, even in somebody who is just watching the movie. And here's the scariest thing about his Joker. You know that he just does not care. He just wants chaos. And it doesn't care about nothing. He'll burn a stack of money. He will do anything just to create chaos. He's even willing to risk his own life. It doesn't matter. He just wants to see the world burn. And that's scary as hell. Like literally, you can't help. What can you do? You can't talk him off a ledge. Ain't no amount of hugs gonna help him. Nothing like that. So that's scary. Can you imagine being around somebody who is like, it doesn't matter, I'll kill you and me at the same time, just so that there's chaos. No purpose beyond the fact that just creating chaos. Craziest villain, I think the dopest.
Honestly, I think part of me thinks that there's people out there. Like, I feel like he's someone who, like, there's people that are, which is like really realistic and makes it really scary. I will say. But anyway, CJ, what do you think?
Hey, you know, if you're looking for reality, I think there's really people like Hannibal Lecter out there. That's a scary dude. You don't want to see Hannibal on the street, all right? So I don't know about all these other villains. You know, they're very entertaining and theatrical. But Hannibal would just chop your ass up and eat you for dinner. Like, literally. He did that to a lot of people. Legit. That's the scariest dude in the world to me. So
Who's the protagonist in his story?
he don't need a protagonist. He eating people, bro. What do you need? Who needs to be? Everybody's the protagonist in that story.
Like I said, snap. Get rid of half that.
Well, the next thing I want to talk to y'all about that I would say some people see him as a villain in this boxing world. It was announced this past week that Jake Paul will take on Tyrone Woodley. This fight will take place on August 28th. This is Paul's first fight under the Showtime Championship Boxing promotion. So, should expectations of the fight be that Paul wins? Or
Expect.
do we expect? What should the expectations of the fight be that Paul will win? Let's start with Corey.
Listen, why not? At this point, why not? Why not expect him to win? And hey, let's throw in a knockout in there. Well, one, if we talk about Woodley, from what I know about his career, he's not much of a knockout artist. Okay, so time spent with UFC and everything else, he was a great wrestler in the Big 12. So I think a lot of his stuff comes from submission. And the last fight, which was not too long ago, he was getting rocked, okay, on his feet. So, and he's older. So why not expect that Paul gonna go in there, lay the paws on him, and win, probably even by knockout? Why not expect anything different? So that's what I'm gonna expect. And if it doesn't happen, I'll be pleasantly surprised. But that's what I'm expecting.
Luis, what do you think?
Luis?
Luis.
You there?
That's what he thinks. Nothing.
Am I here?
Yeah, you're here.
At the end of the day, listen, Woodley's a wrestler. He's always known for explosiveness. A lot of them are just a lot of ground game. He doesn't have a history in boxing. So although he's a fighter, I think he's 39 out of his prime. He dropped out of the top 10 in the UFC. I mean, it's a toss-up for me.
Okay. Devonte, what you got to say to that?
Like Miss Badu said, you better call on Tyrone. And we have called him. He's about to do this for the culture. He has to sleep this man immediately. Jake Paul, it's here. This is it. I'm probably gonna put I can't gamble on. No, I'm from Texas. Yeah, but I need Tyrone to get this done, bro. Congrats to Jake Paul for signing that deal. Man is about to get paid. His last fight was a big L. He was getting rocked, but you cannot let no YouTuber who has taken boxing seriously, won't take that away from him. Out of all the experience you have, just take this away from you, bro. Redeem yourself, get the dub, and do it for the culture.
CJ, final words on this one?
Yeah, I appreciate the final words because honestly, the only thing that matters is the fact that he's actually facing someone who can fight. Tyron Woodley got 7 knockouts in his career. Yes, he's not a stand-up artist. I'm not sitting here saying that he's gonna come in and actually do some things that, showcases boxing perfection. But he's gonna be something that Jake has not actually fought. Someone who can actually take a punch to the face and stay standing. Even though Brendan Askren has been in the UFC, homie got knocked out by Masvidal in like 6 seconds. So I don't really think that's somebody who I would be saying is a true fighter in a stand-up arena. I will say this. Jake, to me, is somebody who has taken the sport seriously, and he's starting to earn my respect because of the continuous, like every time I see him now, it's him in the training ring. And so I am enjoying seeing what he's been doing in the just small clips and footage, but he's not a real boxer, and he's coming into a third fight against someone who's an actual professional. So I don't really see him taking but I think it's going to be entertaining. I think Showtime does really well in showcasing boxing in a good professional light, a lot better than what Triller or whatever the hell he was on the other promotions was doing, but I think this is an exciting match to me now.
Yeah, and if I can say one quick comment, Triller did kind of make it look very childish. So get y'all stuff together. Who's ever working on that side? Showtime has been known to put on some really great fights. Show you a couple of clips and highlights of what they've been doing in the background. And I follow up what CJ said. Jake has earned some people's respect. Not mine's quite yet though. If he sleeps Tyrone, bro. And I mean, like a good boxing match, bro. Defense has just skyrocketed, impressed so many other boxers. Then he's gonna end up being a top prospect, bro. Like I won't be surprised, bro. Just because of the entertainment aspect of it, he might get a title fight. Like they're just gonna throw him in there. So who knows? We shall see.
We shall. That's August 28th. So we still have a hot second until then. But that wraps up our first quarter. So now we're going to get to the second quarter, more into sports. That was pop culture. And I know how much y'all love y'all sports. So
let's go.
We're going to start with Naomi. Earlier this week, Naomi Osaka decided to withdraw from the French Open after backlash to her announcement, leading to a fine from the tournament's organizers and a threat of her being expelled from the competition. So the question is, should athletes be forced to speak with media if they don't want to? Cori.
Oh man, I feel so torn on this topic. The short answer is it's a little bit of both, right? Like I understand why there's a press obligation for the business, right? They need their money, and they have they're selling ads, they're selling TV time and airtime, and their asset is their athletes. So I get it why they need to have them speak. But here's the thing why I think it's very important for athletes to be able to control their own narrative and everything else. You're talking about some people don't even want to have IG or TikTok because they know the pressure that comes along with it. when you go out and do a press run or anything, even after a game, everything you say is going to be dissected for the millions of people who are going to intake this information, which means you're open now to all of the attacks that they're going to have and every opinion they're going to have. When all you wanted to do was play tennis, bro. Like, why is this a part of the job? Why is it a part of the job? For anything. Now, for me, in my own personality, I would probably go out there and just talk about random stuff if I didn't want to talk to anybody. If somebody came and asked me a question, I start talking about blueberry pancakes or maybe how much I love waffles and chicken. However, that's not everybody. Some people don't want to be up there. And imagine if she got up there and did that, then who is she? She's an asshole, right? She's Marshawn Lynch and ducking everything else. Like, I'm just here so I don't get fined. But that ran along with his personality. If she does that, she's crucified for not giving information and being forthcoming with that. So I'm torn on both sides because I get it from a business standpoint, but also she made millions of dollars. Girl, protect your wealth, protect yourself, protect your mental health. You ain't got to do whatever you don't want to do. You're going to be fine if you never play tennis again. So, and a lot of athletes, protect yourself because the media ain't going to do it.
I need that on a t-shirt. That was so powerful.
Real talk.
CJ, what do you think? Do you think that they need to talk to media or no?
I mean, I'm similarly torn to Corey, but my perspective is this, right? The great athlete narratives of our generation comes from those who are generally regarded as the greats, right? Like Kobe sitting in a media conference after, game 6 of a final is something that we want to see because, he's going to drop some nuggets and talk through some intricacies of the game that we enjoy. And it's important that we have those narratives because we have moments like this where we can discuss and at length talk about the sports that we love and we cherish as a whole. But to me, and this is kind of where my bottom line will always go, I'll always agree with the athlete when it's talking about their health, their well-being, their person, their individual self. And she has stated that she has had panic attacks and anxiety since she won the first Open that she participated in. And I think that's something that we have to really look at and say, okay, if she's not willing to sacrifice her own mental health, why would we force her to put her in a situation to do so anyways? And I think the media in tennis, the tennis world is particularly rough. This is the same kind of sport that, we've seen people like Serena Williams, who is the GOAT of tennis, hands down, get absolutely destroyed because of her behavior on court, her behavior that her male counterparts exhibit pretty much all the time. Yet I don't ever see a caricature of them in a very upset manner. And so I think, to me, it's for the benefit of the athlete if you let them choose. But man, it would really suck if we just lose every opportunity to talk with these athletes in this moments that we can really get some good narratives from. But I digress.
Maybe it's something they could put in their, contract, or because it kind of brings me back to that topic we talked about before last episode of, where people are human too. So when's the threshold of, okay, this is your job, but also, oh, you exist outside of this. Devonte, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, y'all both have some really great points, and it's just, I don't know, again, they're human, and where do we sit and say enough is enough and stop being so selfish? Because the only reason why they're out there is because of us. And so certain people take that as in, oh, you're gonna do this because it's in your job and I'm a fan and you need to do what's listed in your contract, or yo, take a mental health break. There's always cameras in their face. It's okay to not have to say hi or give viewpoints after a game. I will say this could continue to go not in a trend that we would like if we continue to let it be this is a forceful thing that they have to do, because we'll get the interviews like Cam Newton had when he had a loss. LeBron has had some bad losses where you can just tell the energy is off. Bro, the last person they want to talk to is somebody with a camera in their face is going to ask them very particular, difficult questions. And so some of those people just got done, shutting off another mode in their brain. It's okay, now I stopped the anxiety from the game that I got through. Now I'm it's about to turn back up again for the media. And so I don't know, me just being big on human rights and people just having the choice to do that, I'm all for the athletes having the say so on that. But again, it's when are we going to stop being selfish and kind of leave it up to the athletes to make that decision? So,
Luis, looks like you agree. Or do you agree with
Absolutely.
him?
I think I agree with everybody because at the end of the day, in my opinion, athletes get paid to perform, not to speak. The first point that I wanted to say is, why would you try to force someone to speak? That's just in itself it's just a negative mark. And then my point to the media is, I understand you guys have obligations and kind of storylines you want to have, but I think that the media needs to take a step back and say, hey, there's other opportunities and other storylines with other athletes that you can connect and still produce that attraction. So I think the media needs to do better. If she don't want to talk, don't force someone to talk. I think it's that simple. You know, athletes should only be required to practice, be part of team meetings, and play in games. That simple.
Can you
I
imagine
definitely-
like breaking up with somebody broke up with you, and then as soon as you got done with the breakup, somebody stuck a camera in your face and was like, we want to ask you questions about this breakup real quick. So how are you feeling? Like, that's what I be thinking about. Like, you just got out of something that
real
was
talk.
you can't even process it, and now you got a camera and a mic in my face.
Man.
But go ahead, Bree. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Very good. I was just gonna say that the media, always paints a picture, regardless of whatever the person is affected by, whether they want it to be that or not. So it's just interesting how it could be. It's really powerful, the media, but it can completely destroy people. So, and I think someone who's in the media a lot is Lebron. Right. And speaking of LeBron and the Lakers, they lost to the Suns and the first round of the NBA playoffs. With this being LeBron's first round loss, will he ever make it back to the finals? Let's start with
Yes.
Luis.
That's all I need to say. It's LeBron James. Like, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
So,
that
okay.
Suns team is good, but it's LeBron James. He's going to be back, and the NBA will heal. That's all.
Devonte?
It hurts. It really does suck. I had to be realistic. Lou, shout out to him getting his little point. He was right. The Suns were a really good team from the get-go. When we got into the play-in tournament, and I knew that we were going to eventually face them when we beat the Warriors, it's a pretty high-seeded team. They weren't there for no reason. But you think when you have LeBron James on your team, a man who's never lost in the first round, the job will get done somehow, some way. But man, were we fooled. D-Book, bro, keep doing what you're doing, bro. You cold. That's all I'm gonna say. You had my son clowning me all weekend, bro. Like, Devin Booker dropped 40. That's what's up. But yeah, LeBron will be back. It's rough. His supporting cast is a little weak right now. I won't go into individually because I'll get a little personal. But it needs to get better. Yeah, LeBron will be back. Hopefully he still remains a Laker. AD heal up. But this is just rough. This is just really rough. He really lost a first round game in the playoff, and it's just not realistic. It just doesn't seem right. And to Chris Paul, no offense, but he always dethrones his best friends, bro. Like, he always get him like, oh, that's my boy after the game, even though you just swept him. So yeah, we're moving on. I'm gonna be out.
CJ, what do you think? Does he have to lose eventually, or will he come back?
Whew, I feel very sad about having to say
Oh,
this.
no.
I
Get
really
ready to foul
do.
him.
I really do.
no.
And here's where I want to go with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
LeBron and AD can get to the finals any year when healthy. Any year when healthy. Hands down, there's no other thing that I need to articulate about their ability to get to the finals. But the problem is their health. And that's the biggest worry that I have. Because the team around them that's built right now is not complementary. I can't say that word. It's not built right now to support them if they are not healthy. If AD goes down, that is a huge problem. They will not get to the finals if AD is not healthy. And he's not someone you can trust when it comes to health right now, right? Like, he's had multiple years in which he's been injured, and this is now a time in his career where he's in the playoffs every year. You cannot be injured around playoff season. I will give you this because I know the countering point to this is going to be they only had 71 days since the finals in 2020 into the beginning of this season. And I hear you, but the ultimate thing is LeBron's older now, bro. He's almost 37, 38. He didn't average anything more than 25. He's 37, I know, but he's going to get to 38. And that's what I'm trying to say. He's going to get up in them years over the next couple of years before it's ending the contract. He's going to be like 39. And this is, I worry about his ability to stay healthy, and if AD is the primary option, which it will look like it's going to be because that max contract ain't going to be letting a lot of other new max players get onto the team anytime soon like that. It might be a little bit more difficult for them to really build a championship roster around that. And so I'm worried about it. I will say, unless things change, no, I don't think that LeBron will see the finals again, unfortunately.
Corey, looks like you're looking something up. Are you fact checking him?
There was nothing factual about CJ's statements.
Not.
How was that factual? What was not factual about it?
Let him go.
I wasn't saying that your statement wasn't factual. I wasn't saying that. But I think that some of the stuff you're saying out of context. But I get it. I get it. Here's what I would say. First off, can we have a moment of silence real quick for my boy LeBron? For making history. You know what I'm saying? For the first time in his long career. He lost in the first round. Wow. The first time? It took him how many years? Some people was born 18 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And the whole time he never lost in the first round. That's crazy. But anyway, he will get back. I understand what CJ's trying to say about health, but it really is about the cast around him. If he had a better cast, which they will go out and get some, I'm sure they would have floated and probably even got past the first round. They would have floated and done fine. They don't have no shooters. They don't have any other creators. They don't have nobody on their squad who really is a part besides LeBron and AD. And if you don't have those two, you don't have no firepower. They need more defense and they need shooters. That's how LeBron's teams have won in the past. That's what he needs now. Now, I foresee I foresee some stuff happening in the future that will be great. But here's the thing with LeBron. You said something like LeBron didn't average over 25. He averaged pretty much 25 this year, 25, 77.
No, I'm talking about the playoff series.
Oh, yeah, in the playoff series. I feel you.
Yeah, he did not. Yeah.
Right. Because this year he was a little bit lower and everything else. But you're literally talking about a guy who spent most of his time, who got the less rest of everybody in the league, right? As part of a team, right? So him and the Heat got the less rest of everybody. Still averaged 25 for the season when he wasn't even playing all the games. He missed so many games, and he still averaged 25, 7 and 7. He the king, he the GOAT. He's a cyborg. And I know y'all talk about
does not playing games mean that your point per game average goes down, Corey?
Can you imagine that if he played more games and he scored more points, it might go up or down? Is that correct?
That's how
or not?
average works.
Yeah, but it's right either way, right?
Right. No, so because you have more opportunities or less
point.
opportunities. My point is, if he had more opportunities, it's probably going to be higher than 25 points per game. Last year, he was injured, right? Last year, he was injured, and he averages 25 points a game. The year before that, he was not. He averaged 27. The year before that, it was 27 and up, always up. So I'm going to assume that if he's not injured, he's averaging 27. That's what I'm trying to say. He didn't play as many games, so he didn't have as many opportunities to score more points. That's what I'm trying to say. So if he's healthy next year, we still should be getting top form Bron, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Let me counter again, because this is the issue right here that like y'all want to nitpick on points. Well, nitpick this. He even said that his ankle injury is one that he might never recover from fully, 100%. And that is the biggest issue that you will face. He's gonna get older. His body is not going to recover like it used to. And if you cannot recover,
He said, I'll never be 100% again.
Yeah.
He said, I'll never be 100%. Not again. But if you watch his special on HBO, he explained that he was saying he's never, ever been 100%. He's saying the day he stepped in the league, you go to 99%. He said, I'm going to get back to 99. I'm back at 99, but you're never at 100%. So you got to watch everything. So I'm a Brown fan, so I'll watch it all. He said he'll never get to 100%. What he was trying to tell everybody is he ain't never been up there. Because when you step into the league, you always at 99 because you always working.
Okay.
Come on, bro. He's straight.
Okay.
He's
I
straight.
will say that we need We need to hurry up and figure this out because of injuries and stuff before Luka and Dallas become a big destination immediately. Or CJ might be right. Might.
But you got to be a colonizer to get into Dallas, so.
Hold on. First off. Hold on. What? Boy.
That's the A. Tell me that's not the trend right now. Tell me that for the past 4 or 5 years, that hasn't been a trend for the Mavericks.
Bro,
It has.
what are you talking about?
It has, bro.
What?
Tell me for the past 4 or 5 years, even with you can go start going back with Dirk.
Corey, look at that roster and tell me that it's majority white players right now. Go look at the roster.
Bro,
You
who
were
are the
wrong.
stars?
You were wrong.
Who are the stars?
Tim Hardaway Jr.
Bro,
Stars?
Jalen Brunson. Porzingis ain't a star no more, bro. He came max contract, but he ain't really like that no more, bro.
Next
Nah,
point, because
outta here.
CJ on some bull,
Outta here,
bro.
Don't
CJ
even
on
get me
some
started.
bull, bro.
Regardless, yes, everyone knows that LeBron is a threat if he's, able to play really well. That's let's just say that. So another threat that might be coming up is the Julio Jones sweepstakes is officially over. Yeah, I totally finished that, y'all. As it was announced today that the Tennessee Titans and Atlanta Falcons agreed to trade Julio to the Titans for what is being reported as at least a second-round pick. So my question is, does this make Tennessee the most dangerous threat to the Chiefs' chance to repeat as the AFC champs? Devonte.
I hate being a Patriots fan. As of recent, it's rough. We don't trade for now. I know this question is about the Titans and Chiefs retaining, but bro, we never draft first round picks. You could have traded a couple of them bad boys. Second round picks, who was we trying to even strive for? We should have traded for Julio. Anyways, it's gonna be rough in the AFC because the AFC is starting to look like, oh man, like when LeBron was in the East, like everybody's just trying to come over there and dethrone Patrick Mahomes in the AFC, and so it's pushing a lot of teams under. But the Titans are up. That's a scary team. It really is. Tannehill, I'm not a big believer in him, but what you have been doing with the only a rookie receiver not too long ago out of AJ Brown. He made Corey Davis do a little decent. His numbers went up when he was the quarterback there. Wasn't great, wasn't amazing, but he made the team better. And now you add Julio Jones. Yeah, the offense is going to be nice. And then we don't even have to talk about Derrick Henry. I definitely see it being a pretty close battle between Titans, Chiefs, and Browns. Definitely not Patriots right now. We got to figure it out. So,
CJ, what do you think?
Shout out our producer Chance, who's very upset that the Jags weren't mentioned into that list Devonte just talked about. But
Jags are coming.
I'm sorry, they might be just a couple of years out from being in the championship contenders. But you know what I mean? Let me get back. Let me get back to one name that Devonte did not mention is the Bills, and that to me is the biggest threat to Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs getting back to the Super Bowl, because in I don't know why everybody give me odds, like they weren't one of the top defenses in the league last year, and they have probably a top 3-4 quarterback right now, slinging that ball. Yeah. Josh Allen, bro, he nice, he cold, and I think that is to me the biggest threat outside of the Browns, of course, because the Browns have just built a wonderful team. They have had the best offseason out of any team in the league, hands down. There's nobody else who compete with them when it comes to that. The Titans have somebody now who can help complement AJ Brown on the outside. I think if Julio does not play more than 9 games, like he did last year, then this trade is not necessarily going to pan out the way they want it to be, or want it to. But I honestly think that it doesn't really matter because they have, some will say the best running back in the league, right? I don't necessarily disagree with that. My personal choice would be Dalvin Cook, but that's just me. But I will say that I still think the Bills are probably the biggest threat to the Chiefs in the AFC.
But Josh Allen, top 4?
Yes, bro. Yes. This year, I think he's about to show out. I think he might make a run for the MVP this year, bro. He might make a run for it. I ain't gonna lie. Bills Mafia, bro. Y'all really up this year, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Luis, what you got to say?
So Julio Jones being added to the Tennessee Titans with A.J. Brown, Ryan Tannehill, and Derrick Henry is extremely exciting. But the Tennessee Titans are still going to be a 9-win team, maybe 10 if lucky. Because at the end of the day, Julio Jones wanted a quarterback who has a strong arm and can deliver the deep ball. Ryan Tannehill is a QB manager. you're not seeing him as a contender quarterback that can change the game. At the end of the day, you guys fail to realize Arthur Smith just got hired as the head coach of the Falcons. So that means the Tennessee Titans are going to a transition offensively. They don't even have an identity. Todd Downey, that's who we have faith in? I'm just saying. Jones is cool. He's cool. He cool. But that's not exciting. And for sure, not contending against the Chiefs. The Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes? Yeah, boy.
In a new revamp O-line.
These questions sometimes.
Corey, I need your input here.
Foul.
These are
man,
facts.
let me tell you why. Don't hold the horn. But let me tell you what. You said facts. You
Let 'em go, let 'em
said
go.
that the Titans had no identity.
Oh, I mean, play action and Derrick
Let me
Henry,
read off some.
sure.
Let me read off some. Let me read off. That's identity, my boy. But let me read off some stats for you real quick.
With Julio in the
Let me read off
offense?
some stats for you real quick. Hold on. The Titans are the most fitting name for this team because they are huge, not only in stature, but they put up big numbers. They were second in rushing, top 10 in passing. You just slandered Tannehill, but he had 33 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. What are you talking about? They scored second in total touchdowns. What?
Arthur Smith is
don't
not
even like
on the
Like my boy
team.
said, come on. That's what I
They
need
don't
to hear
have their
right
tight
now
end
because
anymore.
you tripping.
Like,
So they got somebody who can run, is about as big as a tight end with Julio Jones, who run faster than everybody else on the field. Bro, come on.
So Julio's going to get more than
Stop
100
Stop it.
targets in a Tennessee Titans offense with AJ Brown? He might
tell you
he
what.
might even get
I thought the same thing.
80?
I thought Derrick Henry is arguably the best running back in the league. Correct or not correct?
yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
And
absolutely.
they still,
Absolutely.
and so they were second in rushing, and they still threw the second most passing touchdowns.
That's crazy.
Think about that. And their head coach is a defensive savant. And their defense wasn't even that great. Which means they can actually only really get better. No, the defense was good. I'm saying not that great. They weren't top 10 defense. That's what the stats say. The defense said they weren't top 10. They were still good defense.
Yeah,
But they weren't top 10. And I agree, probably the biggest threat is still probably the Bills. But CJ out here talking that they only gonna get 9 wins when they got 11 last year.
I said that.
Who said that? Whoa.
I
CJ.
said that.
I said that.
CJ said that.
Hey,
CJ
write
said
it
some
down,
crazy stuff.
Henry. Do whatever you need to. Tattoo it.
CJ said Josh Allen. CJ said
Yeah,
Josh
Louis
Allen
said
was
that.
top 4. That's wild. That
Josh
is really
Allen was
wild.
balling
Y'all
last year,
don't
though.
think
Top
Josh
4
Allen's top
QB in
four?
the NFL.
I think this next year, yeah. I think he's gonna be one of the top 4. Yeah.
No.
Who's in front?
You got it.
CJ, who's in front of
If
him?
Aaron
Who's the three in
Rodgers
front?
plays, that's the thing. You gotta ask: is Aaron Rodgers playing next year?
He about to say
That's
Dak
the question.
somewhere. He about to say
If he
Okay,
Dak.
take
plays,
Aaron out.
then it bumps into
So
5. If he
so
plays,
Jack-
it
so-
bumps into 5. But if he does not play, because one, Deshaun Watson ain't playing. I'm sorry. So that's 2 players who might not be playing who were in the top 5 last year, right? Then you have Pat Mahomes. You gotta get Tom Brady because he won the damn Super Bowl, right? And then you have obviously Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson. And then to me, Josh Allen's right after to me right now. That's
Fair
just,
point.
you know what I mean? So
Fair point.
Wait, so Corey, what was your final answer? Does it make it the
My
most
final
dangerous threat?
answer is that I don't think they're the most dangerous, but I think that they're up there. The most dangerous threat first is the Chiefs to themselves. Second might be the Bills, and then third is probably the Titans look good, man.
Browns?
The Titans look good.
Yeah.
The Browns had a great offseason, but the Browns are still the Browns.
Well, that wraps up. That wraps up the second quarter, y'all. Because third quarter is my favorite. It's the Factor Cap NBA edition. Ready?
Well, can we count the foul for that? Because I feel like
I
Luis
wasn't.
deserves a foul for that.
No, I get. Hey, you can write it right now. Julio being added to that defense, yes, it's a plus, but it's not a game changer.
To the
It
what?
is not a game changer.
Offense. He got it. He got it.
That's a foul right there. No, what the hell? Come on, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is-
You said
Oh, defense, I'm sorry. I'm
defense,
offense,
bro.
my
I tried
bad.
to help you. I
Listen.
tried to help you. I tried to. Yeah. Hey. So you could have just been quiet, and Luis, we would have got back with you later
Not
during the season
listen.
when it would have worked out.
All right, my bad. Factor cap. Go ahead.
All right, Bree. What's up? Foul
Yes,
kick?
yes.
I think. I'm sorry.
Maybe you should sit out, man. Like,
Time out.
sorry. Okay. Factor cap. After both teams in the 2020 NBA Finals lost their respective first round series, the Brooklyn Nets should go ahead and start planning their championship parade. Fact or cap? Devonte.
Fact. Fact. Ain't nobody stopping him. No. James Harden set out a game and bro, no. Yeah, fact. That's it.
CJ, fact or cap?
I said it earlier. I think this is going to be a really competitive series here in the second round. I do think they're going to win the second round. I can play around and be like, yeah. No, I think they're going to win. And I'm kind of worried about the 76ers right now because they just lost to Atlanta. So I don't know. I think the biggest threat to them is really what's coming out of the West. And I think the Jazz are legit. I think the Jazz might actually be something to be concerned about because they are basically the most well-rounded team left in the NBA, and they had the best record in the NBA. So I'm gonna say cap. Cap. Corey, take off your hat for me real quick. Cap.
Corey, fact or cap?
I'm leaving mine on because I think this is fact. I think it's time to hit the banana boat in Miami or wherever they at. The Nets are Thanos, okay? It's going to take the rest of the league to gather Infinity Stones to try to come and beat them, okay? Because here's the thing. I think a couple of teams can beat them maybe 1 or 2 games. I think Utah's are probably nice. They'll probably get a couple of games. But nobody's beating them 7 games, bro.
No.
They don't even play no defense. They just all, bro, their thing is if you going to score 160 points, we're going to score 170. Who going to beat them? Nobody beating them 7 games. Nobody's beating them 7 games. They need to go ahead, hit their travel agents up, go to the Caribbean, wherever they want to, figure out how they going to take the drink out of whatever they're drinking on, holding it up. Maybe they get like a little fake replica thing so they can act like they broke the trophy because the trophy is already in Brooklyn. So
Yeah.
Let me
Get
say,
the t-shirts. Get the
I gotta,
t-shirts
since
ready.
I'm by myself on the island again, I just gotta say this, bro. Yes, they are obviously the most dangerous offense in the league. Yes, they have the best probably offensive player of all of NBA history in Kevin Durant. But at the end of the day, you telling me that Utah, who has the best bench in the league, the best defensive player in the league in Rudy Gobert, and honestly, someone who is looking for a reason to just have a come out party when it comes to the playoffs and Donovan Mitchell, bro, that man is looking to take to the next step.
I feel you.
It's going to be a series if that's the two that end up in the finals. And I don't think
they're going to put Gobert in a pick and roll and Kyrie Irving's going to toast that man.
Barbecue chicken.
Barbecue chicken alert. Barbecue chicken alert. They
Hey.
gonna put Gobert in a pick and roll, and as tall as he is, Kevin Durant gonna hit them step back threes, and they gonna put Gobert in a pick and roll, and James Harden gonna get a foul on that man and the thing, and he gonna
James
shoot 20
Harden might
free
not
throws
play.
again.
He hurt. He don't
matter.
this game too.
Don't even matter.
We ain't gonna know until we know. But I'm just saying, don't write the final chapter until it actually happens. That's all I'm saying.
Luis, championship
Oh,
parade.
it's a wrap. It's done. It's a wrap. It's done. See, might as well hand him the trophy. It doesn't matter what happens in the West. It really doesn't, because the Sun is a young team. Great potential. I could see them taking them to 6. The Jazz probably to 6. I have no faith in the Clippers.
Welcome to the team.
They winning right now.
Shh.
Still, man, I just have no faith in Kawhi. Just none. He's a great two-way player. Don't get me wrong. But I'm also a bitter Spurs fan, so I'm gonna get off Kawhi. But yeah.
Actually, the next factor cap has Kawhi in it. Let's see. After losing Game 5, the Clippers and Kawhi put on a dominating performance in Game 6 of their first round matchup with the Mavs. This may all be gone by. Oh, wait, sorry, my bad. Clippers will be blown up their roster regardless of Game 7 outcome. Clippers will blow up their roster regardless of Game 7 outcome. Fact or cap? We'll start with Luis again.
Cap. Regardless of what happens in the Mavs series, Kawhi needs to stay in LA and build his legacy with the Clippers. I think that's the best move for him, because if he loses or wins, or Kawhi's going to lose in the playoffs regardless. If he goes to another team, that's just, I don't know. You just, come on, man. You sorry.
Devonte, what do you think?
As much as I don't like the Clippers, he needs to stay. That's too much moving, bro. I mean, you cold though. You went to Toronto, got a ring. Pop gave you one when you was in San Antonio. You're in a rookie contract. Like, I mean, hey, and now you in LA. I don't think you're gonna win one though in LA. No sir, no sirree. But hey, build that legacy though. Get them stats, get the plaques, all that. That's nice, but
no banners.
That's it. No. Maybe.
How would you feel if I told you the Clippers are going to be more successful than the Lakers the next 5 seasons?
I say cool. Wake up.
Right. I was just going to put that out there.
Corey, factor cap.
Bro, what they got in the coffee out there, bro? What they put in the coffee out there? You must have had something. What they say behind you? What brewing company is that? They put something in the air, bro. Something in the drink, something in the air, because this, you be on that stuff. But I honestly think this is fact, bro, because I don't see the Clippers I don't believe in the Clippers. I told y'all that. Who knows if the Mavericks make a run here soon, but if the Mavericks do and knock them out, that'll be crazy. If they don't and make it to the second round, they're going to lose too. So at this point, you're talking about PG, a nice team, and Kawhi. And now you have a new coach, and you still couldn't get the chip? Nah, bro, you gotta get back to the drawing board. We gotta figure out what's going on. Maybe you can keep Kawhi, that's fine. I don't care if he leaves, because the super team is like the thing anyway, so maybe he needs to leave and get another little squad. Who knows? Maybe Dallas is the new destination spot for everybody, and Dallas becomes a super team. Maybe, somebody moves to Seattle, and Seattle becomes a super spot. Oof. Who knows? You never know. I would love to see that, but I think the Clippers are the Clippers. Teams will be teams. Lakers will always have a great organization, just like the Celtics will always have a great organization, and the Clippers will always be the Clippers.
CJ, Mr. MFFL.
Woo! Oh man, it's gonna kill me if the Mavs lose this game, and I think they might, and I think they're gonna go to the second round. But let me go ahead and say this: the Clippers in the second round are going to probably get absolutely thrashed by the Jazz. That's going to be a really bad series for them and the fans of the Clippers to watch, because the Mavs are only basically dependent on if Luka can come up with like 60 to 70 points in a game to win the series, right? Because they don't have a second. They don't have, KP is not somebody who's really showcased that. And if you are sitting here telling me that the Mavs, who could have been the 7th seed, if they dropped one more game, they would have been the 7th seed, that they took y'all to game 7, bro? The Clippers, and y'all wanted to face them? Really? I think the question too, we gotta ask the question too, right? Like, the question is if the Clippers are gonna blow up the roster, not if Kawhi is gonna leave. I think, honestly, I don't think Kawhi is going to leave, but I do think that the Clippers are going to have to make changes, because this is not a championship roster right now. Like, it's just not, bro. PG got to get up out of there, or somebody got to get up out of there, because right now, Kawhi is not the killer you need. You need a killer. You need a Damian Lillard killer who's going to come in and take the games away from other opponents, right? So, yeah, bro. Yeah, it's gonna be.
Don't give him a point for that.
Dame to the Clips.
It's a rough.
Dame Dollar to the Clips.
No, Dame never leaving.
Man, they'll be
Dame not leaving Portland.
No, he got a 5-year contract. He's not leaving. I'm not saying that they need Dame Lillard per se. They need a player who is like Damian Lillard, who can come in and actually make those clutch shots and be the person who takes the series away at the end of the game for the team. And I don't think they have that. I don't think Kawhi is a killer. Like, he showed up in game 6, but like, where were you in games 1 through 5, bro? Like, what? That's the issue with the Clippers right now. So I don't know, man. I don't think they're gonna blow up the roster. So I'm gonna say cap to that. But I think that they probably should look at it and reevaluate who's on that team by the end of the year. So
As a Mavericks fan, CJ, I would like for you to stop slandering Kristaps Porzingis.
bro, what are you talking about? Why?
Okay,
You mean Kyle
I'll tell you
Kuzma?
why.
I'm just
He only you say y'all say Kyle Kuzma, but let me just again, I'm a numbers guy, so let
just
me drop
playing,
you
bro.
numbers. He only played 43 games this year, but his points per game, 20 points per game, not bad. Second behind Luka. Doesn't play as many minutes, but in those minutes that he does play, he has almost the same as field goal percentage, literally off by 0.3. Has a better 3-point percentage.
Corey.
Has a better free throw percentage. So I feel like you just stop slandering him when he's second best option on the team.
You like using stats, but let's go ahead and use the facts. He is someone who cannot.
Wait, is that not a fact?
Whoa, listen, no, listen.
Stats not facts?
The facts.
Are stats
Because
not
stats
facts?
can sometimes
let him go.
stats
Let him go, Corey, 'cause
can
he's
sometimes
pulling the
hide-
alternative
hide
facts.
the underlining. Sometimes stats can hide the underlining issue of what you're seeing on the screen, right? Because what I see on the screen is someone who cannot defend, who cannot actually play in the middle anymore, because every time he's on the court, he's playing on the arc, and so he's playing front to basket, which is not his game right now. He's not. I cannot trust him as the only being a 3-point shooter. Yes, he can make points and all that stuff like that, but where does he really need to be? He needs to be in the paint, making moves. He is not somebody who's going to be what? What, Corey? You telling me facts, but what is it? What is it? This is a playoff game. This is where he needs to show up, and he's not, bro.
Has
This is
that
the
ever
second
been?
year.
Has that ever been his game? Even when he was in
Yes.
New York, has that ever been his game? That was his game.
Yes, it was. He was
Porzingis?
inside of. He was not always on the arc, bro. Yes,
Kristaps
kid, he
was-
played from the arc. He can extend the range of the. He can extend the range and space out the floor. Yes,
You're
but
telling
he
me that he
cannot
was
be
a
there all
post?
the time. He is not a shot creator, bro. He cannot start from the arc and take it to the hoop anymore. That's not his game anymore. He needs to be back to the basket. He needs to catch the ball. He needs to be able to make moves within the arc. Y'all don't sit here and start telling me.
Listen,
what my
listen.
Mavs
Corey, you wanna go?
need, because I've
Hold on,
seen
hold on.
it.
Like
Listen,
I'm not a
time out.
Mavs
If
fan.
you miss Dirk, just say that, bro.
You are, but you ain't me.
If you miss Dirk, just say that,
You
bro.
miss Dirk. That's it.
I miss Dirk, but we got Luka. I don't need another person who's like Dirk. I
You
need a
just
person who's actually going to
described
produce
Dirk.
at a high level. But he's not. Listen to me.
Corey, you
if
trying to
he's
go?
not in the game in the clutch moments,
listen.
then why would I trust him? You can tell me all the
Listen.
stats of how well he performs, right? Apparently, to Corey's point, he performs well on the 3-point arc and all that stuff. Why is he taking a shot at the end of the game? Why is Luka passing it to Tim Hardaway Jr. more times than he's passing it to Kristaps?
We gonna move on. 'Cause, we can go this all day. Let's move to the next point. Just stop slander, my boy.
I will say
say that.
Just say it.
that I've always been told free throws wins games, and free throws are points. So if you make points, you win the game. Anyway, let me go to the next last one for Factor Cap. The first round of the NBA playoffs showcased the next crop of stars: Luka Doncic, John Morant, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, and Trae Young all showed out in their respective series. Factor Cap: in the next 5 years, the best player in the world will be someone from the list that I just mentioned. Let's start with Luis.
It's facts, because I think Luka is going to be the one out of this list for sure. But I am upset that we are missing one name from this list, and that's Devin Booker, because he needs to be on this list. Not saying he's going to be better than Luka, but man, we disrespecting Devin Booker again.
Devonte, you looks like you agree.
I mean, I didn't see LeBron James Jr. on the list. No, I'm just playing. He got a minute for me. Yeah, no, but definitely agree with Lou. I like the names. Luka is, again, I'm worried as a Lakers fan. That might be a destination. Texas is booming. A lot of things are changing. Luka is literally making the Mavericks relevant, like super, super relevant now. The jersey sales insane. Dude's popular. But I really do feel like we need to stop disrespecting D-Book, bro. My dude is literally taking over a team, and all he needed was that veteran leadership just to give him an extra push to understand where to go from here on out. fact, yes, the league is in good hands in the next 5 years. Trae Young is becoming that villain. Oh, it's so exciting just to see it play out. It's super dope. Boomer Sooner. But yeah, fact, the league is in good hands. Also, Zion is growing, y'all. He's not being overhyped. He just ain't made a playoff game yet. So,
Sorry.
Corey, fact or cap?
I think it is cap. And then here's why. The only reason I say that is because NBA stars are playing to a longer age, and Giannis is only 26. Like, in 5 years, he's still gonna be the best. Because in 5 years, some other stars might be a little bit older and maybe even aging out. Right? Kevin Durant's 32. So what do we see him at 37? I don't really know. Will Kyrie even play after this year? Nobody knows. So I don't know if the space is there for them yet to be the greatest in the game, especially if the Greek Freak is still playing. But I do agree with the D Book. I would even put Jason Tatum over D Book, and here's why I would say that: because Jason Tatum didn't need that one edge push. Like, I feel like Booker needed that leadership to really put it together, and Jason Tatum has formed his game himself and is able to do that every single night with his team. And I think he's the face of the new Celtics, and people are going to want to play with Jason Tatum. But I do think that people do be disrespecting D Book. D Book cold and mug. But out of all of them, I mean, Luka. Luka has the cheat code of the fact that he's been playing professionally longer than all of them. And you can say that in this game. His game since he stepped in here has been very polished and very professional. So he's kind of a couple of years ahead of them. But I like Trae Young game. I like how flashy he is, and I love how he interact with the fans. I love D Book. Luka hard, but Giannis still gonna be there, and he only gonna be 5 years older than 26. So
and still tall.
Exactly, and still the Greek Freak.
CJ, you're gonna choose Luka out of this list?
Listen, no disrespect to Gianna. No disrespect to homie, but I'm not gonna be able to pronounce the name right now. I'm still slacking on that. I think in fact that Luka is gonna be the best player in the next 5 years for sure. While I like Giannis, I finally got it. He doesn't have the offensive touch to me to take over the game in the way that he needs to. And it shows because, Chris Middleton's taking the clutch shots at the end of the game right now. He's the person they're turning to. He is. What? He is. Bro, what are y'all talking about? He is.
But,
they're
feeding
him
there and
why you only
Drew
talk
Holiday.
about clutch moments? Like as if that's like the entirety of a player.
If you watched the series between the Bucks and the Heat, Chris Middleton was closing the games for them. So if you're asking who the best player in the league is, it's the player who has the ball in their hands.
Does Chris get the opportunity to close the game without Giannis?
What?
Does Chris get the opportunity to close the game without Giannis?
Listen, I'm not saying that's not a part of it,
all
but I'm saying
bro.
if Giannis can't complete his game, then he can't be the best player in the world.
He can't complete it
That's
in the
what
next
I'm trying
5
to say.
seasons.
He cannot have a complete game. He can't be the best player in the world, right?
But
if
see,
LeBron didn't have the ball at the end of the game, which he does,
MVP,
he always
bro.
does.
Come on.
He always is the one who huh? I get it. That's what I'm trying to say. We're talking about who is the best player in the world for our generation? LeBron James, right? If LeBron was the person who had the ball at the end of the game and if he did not have the ball at the end of the game, we would not say he was the best player in the world. That's what you need. That is a defining trait of who the best player in the world is. I'm sorry. Look up any best player in the world, like any conversation about who the best player in the world is, right? If you don't have Kobe, MJ, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, those individuals who
Bro, Chris Middleton is averaging Porzingis numbers, but you gonna slander Porzingis, but not Chris Middleton?
What did I say, bro? What did I say about Porzingis? First of all, we're not gonna go back to that conversation.
We asking you what you trying to say. That's what you're trying to get at.
What I'm trying to say is at the end of the game, if you cannot have the ball in your hand and are clutching it out, bro, that's the issue. That is the issue here. Y'all can sit over here and try to play semantics with me, but at the end of the day, Kristaps Porzingis is not having the ball in his hand and closing out games. He's not the one we're asking to take the shots to win the game at the end of the series.
So Dame Lillard, the best player in the league right now.
What?
By your definition, it's the person who has the ball in the hand at the end of the game.
Oh my God.
Dame Lillard's the best player in the league.
Corey, what do you, bro? I'm literally trying to make the point of if Giannis cannot complete his game and make that a part where he is trusted to have the ball at the end of the game, that will not make him the best player in the world. that is the argument. I'm not saying that it detracts from the I'm not saying like Chris Middleton's the most important player on the team. He's just the person who they trust to take the shot at the end of the game right now. Now, I'm saying overall that Luka has the ability to do that and more. He's got to fine-tune the defense, but at the end of the day, I think he's not that bad of a defensive player.
So your answer is Luka.
Thank you.
Luka, yes. The answer is Luka. Thank you. Yes.
That man was talking.
I said it at the beginning of it. I said it was
And then you
Luka.
kept going.
Because everybody wants to interrupt me and try to make points at me when I'm trying to finish my points. Let it be known that I let every single one of
Bro,
y'all
you're
talk
yelling.
and not interrupt. And y'all want to always be saying some stuff when I be talking. So
That wraps up our Factor Cap NBA edition. So fourth quarter, last quarter, y'all. Last chance to get your
Let
points.
CJ go first.
I mean, I haven't gone first the whole time, so
For sure, let him go first.
You got it, bro.
I feel very targeted at the moment. You know what I mean? I'm just, I'm just gonna
love
say
you, bro.
that. It's all right. It's
Who
all right.
hurt
It's
you,
all
man?
cool. It's cool.
You a Dallas fan. It's all good.
Y'all
We
did.
love you, bro.
Y'all
We love
did.
you.
So on a serious note, y'all, fourth quarter, the NFL announced Thursday that it would end its practice of race norming. So that's like the practice of adjusting test scores to account for the race or ethnicity of the test taker. So basically, the score of a black candidate is only compared to the scores of those with the same ethnicity, which is, some would say, racist. Do y'all think that the NFL is inherently a racist league? CJ, you can go first.
Is the NFL inherently a racist league? Yes. I think that the NFL has, to just look at some of the situations of the past decade, Colin Kaepernick, the whole situation with the concussion protocols and stuff like that being outed. It's always shown that it really, the CTE situation, all that stuff like that, is that the NFL is not transparent with its policies, and oftentimes it disproportionately impacts the black community. And I think, thank you. Chance is over here throwing some facts out in the chat right now, talking about the Rooney Rule and et cetera, where it just shows that NFL is just not a league that can be trusted to make good quality decisions for all of its players, not just some of its players. And so, this was super disheartening. I think we probably need to see some individuals leave the NFL's exec team at some point over the next year. Otherwise, I really don't know how much just this practice being ended in 2021 is gonna do. But yeah, it's super disappointing.
So I've always been told that in order for things to move forward or things to end, it takes 100 years. Like it takes a generation, right? So for things to get, I guess would say better. So yeah, this could end now, but what will that mean? Corey, what do you think?
Do I think that the NFL is inherently racist? A little bit of yes and no, but I think not necessarily. I think the reason why it may be inherently because of capitalism. Everything is about the almighty dollar. And the thing is, NFL is 70%, close to 70% black. Yet that is not reciprocated in the leadership of that. And we can see that if you have to have something like the Rooney Rule, that's an issue. Why are you not interviewing black candidates for head coaching jobs when they're well qualified? Obviously, because the players are 70% black. So most of the players become coaches. So why are they not doing things like that? And if you look at anything, I think when it comes specifically to this race norming, I think they're looking money first, right? They're trying to say, how can we save our money? And so in their capitalism, they invertedly kind of got some racism. But I think even going to how we talk about quarterbacks, right? When it's a black quarterback, there's a stigma around a black quarterback, and maybe he should change the position, or can he really throw? Is he a really pocket passer? And to me, I view the term pocket passer for a black quarterback as like white passing. if that makes any sense, because that's how they view like these white quarterbacks. Oh, he's tall in stature, he has big hands, he's a great pocket passer. And then they say the black quarterback, oh, he's very athletic, but can he throw the ball? It's like, well, if you playing quarterback, you have to be able to throw the ball in the league at all. So I think that there are definitely some racial undertones, and we cannot deny that at all. And I think a lot of it stems from capitalism. It mirrors what we live in our everyday life today. So,
Devonte, what do you think?
Yeah, no, for sure fact. CJ Corey had really great points. But also, I mean, when I like to agree on the point where when players like to make a lot of decisions on their own, like I demand a trade, I do this and that, and they like to say, oh, they're whining, they're babies, they're not following their contract, they're not, following the league. Like, bro, what do you expect them to do? Corey just said it. It's a predominantly black league. Like, you don't favor it for a lot of their needs and their wants. So when they want to make a change, they're gonna do something obviously to get that change to happen. And so some people want to call it them being crybabies and things like that. No, they're gonna get what's theirs. They're gonna get their back. They're gonna get their demands and things like that. But just tons of examples of how it's kind of proven, like Corey just stated with the quarterback. The way they try to say they need to be developed. Cam Newton in New England is a prime example. Being a Patriots fan, some of the things I see in those groups is just horrendous about like why Mac Jones should be starting, and I'm just like, that has nothing to do with him playing quarterback. But okay, cool. So yeah, it's in the U.S. So the U.S. has history of racism. It's football, capitalism, like Corey said. The dollar talks. It makes everything. You put both of those together, you got the NFL. Simple as that. Is it gonna get better? We just put out a good fact, 100 years, and this generation ain't it right now. So I don't know. I really do feel for those guys that are, taking the L on the side of that new statement that was made by the NFL. And I really do hope that some leadership changes, or you can start seeing a lot of more players demand trades and, do what they want because they deserve to. And yeah, simple as that.
Luis, what do you think?
I think it's a yes and no for me when it comes to the NFL. And it's similar to kind of the topics that Corey expressed. I think that when discussing race, we need to always take it a deeper step. Because in a neuropsychology context, I read that race norming assumes that the average black player starts at a lower level of cognitive functioning than an average white player, as you mentioned before. That way of thinking is how we ended up having this conversation. And African American communities, Latino communities, marginalized communities are always disproportionately affected, whether it's health, housing, services. And I think it's all a product of a capitalistic society, and these are the rippling effects. To address this, we need to be able to have an honest and intentional conversation and understand our history to better have policies that serve the players that are from marginalized communities. That's my take on that.
Definitely some poor thinking behind all of that for sure. Not your point. Like
I'm speaking facts. I don't know about you.
Not your point.
Ring that bell. Come on.
No. No, but it's hopefully we see change, and it's gonna take a while, but I'm looking forward to it. But what I was trying to say is we got a lot of poor behavior also in NBA. After many circumstances of poor behavior by fans in the NBA playoffs, many players across sports world believe that there needs to be more done to protect both fans and players from these bad actors or apples. What, if any, should these leagues do to address this problem? Let's start with Corey.
Honestly, and this is probably not a popular opinion, but a lot of leagues have put in a lot of different things, and I think they're on the right track, right? But I think you got to create more separation between the players and the fans. And nobody wants to hear that, right? Because it's supposed to be like an intimate thing. But we have so many ways of being intimate with our players today. We can reach them via Twitter. Like, we're in their pocket, we're in their hand. We see the press that they do and stuff like that. So we're able to have access to them. the thing is though, like, I don't know, maybe they put like, when people are walking in the tunnels, maybe they cover the tunnels up. Maybe they are doing other roping and other things. Maybe they kind of shield their players, like in a soccer seat. You know how soccer has like the spread out benches with the shields and stuff like that? Maybe everybody starts adopting things like that. They just need to create more separation, hire more security. You want to put more jobs. Everybody complaining about ain't enough jobs. Okay, multi-billion-dollar organizations, hire more security. Why is it? How can a fan run on a court, bro? How? There's no way. You should be, especially the NBA game, because you have to run down the steps. Like, if you ever been to an NBA game, there's like steps leading to the court. So somebody should be at them steps, and you getting clapped as soon as you get down to the bottom one. Like, the court side is supposed to be a good thing, but you just got to create some separation. Let the fans initiate the intimacy that they want, and then keep or let the players create the intimacy that they want, and then keep the fans a little bit separate so that they can't actually reach them. But also, unpopular opinion, you throw something to spit on the player should whoop your ass. We need a lot more Steven Jacksons in the world and Ron Artest.
Facts.
Devonte, what do you think?
Yeah, shout out to Ron Artest. Period. I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. So you expect me to not only finish this game and go to a press conference and, you know, talk about how bad I did, how good the team did, or whatever, and I'm not in that mood, but you also want to put your hands on me, you want to throw stuff at me, fans got a lot of expectations, and so when the player doesn't fall under them, they want to act a certain way. And specifically, some of the fans these past couple of weeks have been completely wilding. Agreeing with Corey, my only solution is putting them paws on. Let them go. Marcus Peters was a good example, bro. Dude's talking from the stands.
Where you from?
He came up talking to an LA brother. Yeah, energy changed real quick. Let them say something back, because they'll figure out that is a world-class athlete you are sitting here trying to throw hands with, or they don't even really want to throw hands with. But if we want to go on a more professional side, yes, protect our players, build whatever they need to build, find something where fans do not need to be in reach, because this starting to look like people storming the Capitol. Like, it's just easy or something. I don't know what it is. Help me, help you, but people gonna start getting Ron Artest real quick if they don't change. So,
Luis, what do you think?
I do agree that fans are stepping out of line. I mean, you spitting on another human being after the year that we just had. That's just come on, that's disgusting. But leagues are also to blame, because it's always a protect the fan base, protect the shield, protect the institution, and that's part of the institution. It's protecting them. At the end of the day, they feel that, hey, athletes get paid millions and millions of dollars, so they should be able to put up with whatever fan base wants to do, whether it be the media aspect of things, as we talked earlier, or it be fans harassing, yelling out racial slurs, spitting at people, throwing popcorn. That's not cool, because if they were on the street and there wasn't like that wall that protects the fans, I guarantee you no fan would try to do that to any NBA player, any athlete. You know, just keep your hands to yourselves. I think that's a good rule of thumb for everything. Just keep your hands to yourself. That's all.
CJ, what do you think?
All right, man. The question was, how are we going to protect the players and the fans? And I don't think letting Meta World Peace go and smoke somebody in the stands is actually protecting anybody, except maybe the TV rooms who are going to really enjoy those clips. I personally believe that, you know, all the protections can be in place, and there'll still be some type of bad interaction that happens. Hockey has glass that protects the actual playing surface from the fans, and yet there's still situations that occur time and time again. I think the real solution here is, you know what, man, do what Boston did to the player to the fan who threw the water cup at Kyrie. Ban them from the stadium, but then press charges. Actually press them charges, bro. I want to see felony, because what you're doing is really aggravated assault. You actually assaulting players, so that needs to be a charge on you, really. And so I know generational bans, all those things. You need to make sure that those fans never see a stadium again. You know what I mean? This is not something that is should be taken lightly, because it could get really serious. We talking about Meta World Peace. Y'all don't understand. That could have been really, really serious. And if he was in a state that I don't know. Some of these states are starting to let them gun restriction laws get a little bit looser. It can get really, really dangerous, and so. We really need to start actually, pressing charges, putting fans on notice, and I think you'll see that it will die down a bit. I do think we're at a heightened state since fans are coming back, first time COVID and all stuff like that. But it's still kind of you can't carry inside stadiums. But Texas been trying it. I ain't gonna lie, I know Texas been trying them. I know some Texans who be trying them. So
No, yeah.
CJ sound like we at the Rucker or something.
God dang,
Open
boy.
in New York.
Listen, for real, it's wild, wild west out here. You never know, boy. They're gonna be like, you know what? You can carry your gun anywhere openly too.
Well, that wraps up I cannot talk this week, y'all. This week's podcast. Guess who won? Do I even need to tell you?
Who is it?
don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do all that. Hype this man up.
Drum roll, please.
Corey, please give me your closing remarks
Fake
for
news.
this week's podcast.
Formidable week. I'd like to thank my opponents. I will say this week. First off, I told you I was gonna get the 3-peat. But here's what I will say. Speaking about the NFL, do you know there has not been a white cornerback since Jason Sehorn? That was 2002.
Oh my God.
Just to give you something to think about when y'all leaving out today. You know what I'm saying? So keep the NFL. Expand the NFL. Let's see some more black leadership, some black coaches and owners. And let's save the league we so love dearly.
Well, that's it for this week's podcast, everyone. Thank you so much for listening, and make sure you follow, subscribe, all the things wherever you're listening to this podcast. We're on all platforms. That's it this week. See you next week.
Bye.
Yeah.